Look at me. I have a question.
What?
What do you like better, loud cars or quiet cars?
Quiet and loud.
Quiet and loud? Okay. Do you like quiet cars or loud cars?
Loud cars?
Why are you rubbing sand on you? And why do you like loud cars so much?
Because they go. I like the loud noise, like.
And what do you like better, sweetheart? Do you like loud cars or quiet cars?
Loud.
Loud?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're so loud and then.
What? I told you I was starting it. These are the kind of car shows I'm used to going to. Now, people popping their hoods to show off all their hard work and dedication, from the crazy paint jobs, vibrant colors to the stance, rim and tire combinations. Every single car here is different from the one next to it. The louder, the more modifications, the bigger the engine, the better. There's multi-million-dollar companies that are solely in business to make your car louder. Magnaflow, Borla, Corsa, Gibson, Flowmaster, that's their job and that's all they do. People want noise. Now, the other side of the car shows that I'm used to is the entertainment. You have the accelerations, the burnouts, the recklessness, lawlessness. You have people that, get their licenses out of cereal boxes, as well as blind drivers as well. Then you have the car models. You also have coal rolling, which is apparently a cool thing to do. Oh my gosh, I wish to sleep with that man who rolls coal, said no woman ever. But guess what? EVs are starting to take over. If you don't think so, open the newspaper. The UK said that in July it would ban new gas and diesel cars starting in 2040. France wants to end it in 2040 as well. And India wants to do it by 2030. Now, by 2030, I'll be long dead, but hopefully I get to see some of the effects of that beforehand. As EV technology gets more advanced, the internal combustion engine are going the way of the printed newspaper, or maybe even the MP3 player. Remember the iPod? Apple doesn't even report sales on that thing anymore. But let's face it, gas-powered cars are the less efficient. We all know that. But man, they're fun. And the sound, the glorious sound. But electric motors are far, far more efficient, and the acceleration is pretty insane. But the battery tech is what's holding it back from full adoption. People want a car that goes 300 miles on a charge that takes 10 minutes, not an hour, and we're not quite there yet. Now, what's also starting to slowly change is the car culture. A lot of people don't like EVs and simply passed over. Look what happens when you bring a Model X to an internal combustion engine car show. Look at this recklessness right here. Look at it. The cameraman skipped over the Model X like it was nothing. It's easily the most technologically advanced and the fastest accelerating vehicle in this lineup here. This guy has no idea what the almighty Model X is capable of doing. Anyway, I got invited to my very first EV car show and I took Dolores with me. Now, this is a glimpse of me walking around my first EV car show. No revving, no modifications. It looked like a Sunday morning at a car dealership, personally. Oh, look, this one's blue. Oh, this one's green. No custom colors. Nobody upgraded their cars because they can't really. Where the girls at? How come no one's crashing? What's going on here? There's no noise. Now, also, people's hoods are popped, but instead of showing off all their hard engine work, there's a dragon here. Okay, that's someone's luggage. This one has a sign stating why you should think this car is cool, and this one has a piece of paper attached to it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me bring the old rust bucket Dolores out. I don't think anyone really cares. It looks like all the other Teslas out there. It just had 21 turbines, but it's funny when I brought it out. The first thing someone said was, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, dude! You got a roof rack?" So I brought her out, popped the hood, and people came over, and this is when the magic happened. Where you been?
How'd you get Dolores away from the wife?
What I did was I had the tow truck drop. No, I'm just kidding. No, I had to ask for permission because again, it's her car. I was like, hey, honey, can I drive your car to this car show? You know, the one that I rebuilt for you. You know, yeah, the one I made for you. Can I drive it? So she agreed, and so here I am.
And she's driving the truck?
Sorry?
She's driving the truck now?
She is, yeah.
I don't believe.
Make sure how you drive. It's a 50-mile drive to my
Don't
work.
use the brakes.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
Don't do that.
So do you guys have one Tesla or two Teslas?
Now we have two, plus
Yes.
the radio flyer.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Each family, you could never only have one Tesla because you will fight. Like my wife and I, we're on edge right now because we only have one. And what's happening is that, like, oh, hon, can I go to the gym? And she's like, well, I have to go here. And I'm like, well, how's this going to work? If you have two, it keeps the peace in the family. You just got to do it. Yeah.
I'm the one that
Or you
says,
can
"Get
give the
a
car
Tesla."
away and ask for something else in return.
I know.
Yeah. I guess that's a good way to do it too. That's a good way to do it too. Yeah. What were you gonna ask?
How much did you spend on getting the old car and rebuilding it versus how much a new 85 would cost? So more just. So you got the flooded chassis and you had to get a different car and put all the electronics in.
Right.
How much did that cost you? And did you save money?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the cost breakdown is as follows: 15 grand for the flooded car, 14 grand for the flooded car. I started taking everything off of it, and I called Tesla and I was like, hey Tesla, I bought one of your cars. Can I have some parts for it and stuff? And they're like, LOL, who is this? No, right? Because you can't buy parts from Tesla. Tesla's gonna say no way. Unless you own one.
It's not salvage.
Exactly. But actually, no, even still, there's a lot of parts you can't buy.
Right,
You can't buy an MCU, you can't buy a battery, you can't buy anything for high voltage because it's restricted. That's correct. So, sorry?
You might hurt yourself.
Exactly. You might get
So
shocked
dangerous.
or something, right?
I mean, it's not like you just pump, several
But the
megawatt
wires are
hours
right
of
here.
energy
I'm
in a
gonna hurt
gas
myself.
pump. I mean,
Right.
Exactly.
That's perfectly
safe.
Exactly. Yeah. I could have a gas car, which is AKA a ticking time bomb in a sense, because there's like.
You could be smoking a cigarette while fueling your car. That's perfectly safe.
Right. But
God forbid you replace your own charge port. I mean, you could kill yourself with something right there.
Precisely.
It's like, this is
So I had to buy a second car because they wouldn't sell me parts. I had to buy a one that was in a front end collision. So when I did that car was about 14 grand as well. So total it ended up costing 28,000, right? Which kind of high. However, I had a lot of leftover parts that I could sell. I had a shell, I had some battery modules that were still good. So after I sold all of those parts, this car ended up costing $6,500.
Here's the question. I never knew this exactly.
Right.
So it's legal actually to rebuild this, and then it would be legal for you to redrive this. I didn't know this.
It's
You have
legal.
to go through some
It's legal for me to drive, but there's a state inspection process you have to go through where they inspect the car and they make sure none of the parts that you got was from a stolen vehicle.
That's
They
what
don't
care about.
Yeah, they don't care about structural rigidity. They don't care about anything. They just care.
Rattle trap cars are on the road that get inspected every year. I mean, they
Right.
really don't care.
No,
Yeah, don't care
he's
about
not talking
all
about
the-
safety inspection.
You want to
Yeah, no.
steal a part? Oh
Like
no,
we
that's
have
where
to
we
do
draw the
This
line.
is not the
It's,
safety
I mean, but
inspection.
Right.
really your car was rebuilt.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
assume they would be like, no, you can't drive this.
This is a police station inspection.
Yeah, police. So the police officer was like, I'll check the paperwork. Okay, you didn't steal that. You didn't steal that. Have a nice day.
Oh, thank you.
How
Well,
about
that's
the
good.
emissions?
Emissions, that was a piece of cake.
Did you have to get the
We
VIN
have to
check?
pay for
No,
the
yeah,
emission
everybody
sticker.
has.
Yeah, exactly. So like on most cars, they'll plug it into the tailpipe and say it sounds good.
Yeah.
So the interesting part was
We had problems.
I took a video of this too on my channel, but I went to the inspection place, and they have like, check exhaust cap, check muffler, check suspension.
Fast.
He's the place I went to, they've never even seen a Tesla before.
Oh, yeah. So
They've never seen it, so they're like, oh, they pop the front, they're like, okay, looks good, have a nice day. They put a sticker on it to me my way. And everything. So like I have a cache of videos built up in case I get hurt or Tesla sends 2 employees to beat me up.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have a
Video
cache.
that will be released anyway. If I don't
Right,
push
yeah.
this button,
Avenge me, yeah.
it
So
will go out.
Right.
I will reveal all.
sorry?
It was just a joke.
I'm just joking, but they don't want anyone rebuilding their cars.
How fast did you go with?
How fast, like speed wise? Oh, geez. The speed limit. The speed limit. I don't go fast than the speed limit. A red car, the P85D, I need a shell.
Right.
I need a shell. So I'm still constantly looking at for more shells to put the P85B parts into.
Yeah, I saw someone jack their car up on a bunch of cinder blocks. They took.
I saw that too.
Cinder blocks.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
I saw that too. But the problem is, if a hurricane's coming, right, and they're just expecting like the rain, but flood is one thing that they don't really like think of in a lot of cases. So it's like if you have to get your family out as quick as you can, you don't have, like, imagine me telling my wife, hey hon, I know we have to go now, but I'm just gonna jack the car up and put it on cinder blocks, right? And I'm gonna put it in a plastic bag before we go. She's gonna say, well, I'm leaving you, and you know, you can have the kids. so yeah.
So Save, you can stay in the car.
I had a blast, man. Those dudes were cool. They're enthusiasts just as much as any other car owner. You know, I was thinking just because they don't have flaming paint jobs or did anything crazy, it just doesn't mean that they don't love the technology and aren't excited about it. I thought all the cars looked the same, but the passion is still there. You saw them. I mean, as the tech advances, you know, as manufacturers allow users to tinker with their cars more, Tesla, you know, they'll be just as popular as any other gasoline car. You know, look what Tesla Racing Channel is doing. You know, Tesla Racing Channel has that stripped down Tesla that just races and beats up on all those other cars. I think that's doing a great job for Tesla publicity personally, because they're working around the fact that Tesla won't unlock the software people to do cool stuff with it. You know, they worked around that by adding lightness. You know, they're making the car lighter and beating up on you know, they're dominating a sport that was once taken over by gasoline powered cars. You know, and people just love it. But keep in mind the issue with Tesla Racing Channel now is that the car can't really go any faster. There's a finite amount of weight to remove, and you can't really upgrade anything, you know, without hacking, and that's not an easy task at all. But this is a very different type of car show because a lot of people here are here because they like the cars, but also to celebrate the environmental impact. Because a lot of people here are using solar to charge their cars and are living completely off the grid, and I think that that's really neat. I like that people are into that. I also enjoyed seeing kids there, learning more about STEM as well as different types of technology. Overall, a great experience, refreshing, and the type of camaraderie I haven't seen in a car show in a long time. Like it or not, EV's here to stay. I think it's cool, but I'm still keeping my Z06. However,